Hey everybody, it's Chrissy K. Rollins here, bringing you a quick little energy update because I've been having so many conversations with people over this past week and I keep hearing the same things over and over and over again. And if I'm hearing the same things over and over again, chances are what's going on in our world is going on in your world. And as I've been able to, connect one-on-one and bring a little relief and insight to the individuals that I've connected with, I thought, why not share the same information out here with all of you? So if you have been struggling, especially over the past couple of weeks, to gain and maintain your balance, if you've been feeling extra overwhelmed, anxiety filled, dark, heavy, frustrated, angsty, and especially if this agitation and depression and heaviness that you've been feeling, if you can't really point to it, this is especially important because this is where people really get out of whack. I know I used to get really out of sorts when I could look around my life and say, nothing's really wrong. I mean, of course, I would love to have, more flow in certain areas, but overall things are actually pretty good. So why am I feeling so overwhelmed? Why am I feeling so heavy? Why am I feeling so sad? Why am I feeling so disconnected and unfulfilled and just out of balance? There's a reason for it, a couple reasons for it, and I'm going to share them with you. Okay, so first of all, yesterday, Saturday, December the 21st, here in the United States, at least on our side of the world, it was a winter solstice. Hey, if you're joining live, chat in. Let me know if you can relate to this, okay? Let me know that you're here. Say hello. So yesterday was the winter solstice. And what that means, as far as seasons and as far as what we physically observe as humans on this planet, is that it's the day where the daylight is the shortest and the nighttime is the longest. And we hit this point on the 21st of every year, and then the scales start to tip to where the daylight starts to get longer and longer and longer, and the nights start to get shorter and shorter and shorter. So while we observe this as less daylight and more nighttime, what that equates over in the energetic world is that light and shadow, the feel-good uplifting and the heavy darkness that can come up from within us. So when we are experiencing longer nights and shorter days, what we experience energetically is more of that darkness within ourselves and shorter periods of that light coming through. And that doesn't happen for our suffering or for our punishment or because we're doing anything wrong. It is simply as natural as the seasons are changing out here in the world around us. The same thing happens to ourselves. I mean, think about it this way. In the summertime, we usually have more energy. We're vibing. We're out there. We're thriving. We have longer day. We have more light in our life, and we have less of that darkness. In the wintertime, it's more darkness, more hibernation, more withdrawal, more going within. It's just how you feel, and there's a reason for it. It's because we are sensitive to these changes that are happening around us. So as humans, most of us really thrive in the daylight, and then we kind of shut down and go more into processing and reflection mode in the darkness. So understand that while this is happening seasonally, you're going to feel that happening inside of you. So we've channeled this over the years to use the energy of the winter solstice to be able to recognize the fact that we are not being buried by the darkness, but we're actually being planted in the darkness. And it is the time for you to become super clear on what you want to carry forward. What do you want sprouting new in the new year? What do you want coming up when it's time for that growth period after we're done resting in this dark place? And just like that seed that gets planted, you have all of everything that you need within you and around you to be able to take root, to nourish yourself, and to grow into whatever it is that you desire. But in order to know what it is that we want, we have to get super clear on what we don't want. That's why we get the contrast of the light and dark. So you can say to yourself, this is how I want my future to be, or this is what I want to live into in the new year, in the upcoming growth season. And then along with those conscious thoughts that you have, you're going to be stirred subconsciously to help you to sort out what cycles you are finished with, what habits you no longer want to carry forward, and what you need to implement and put into place in order to have a more fruitful harvest in the upcoming year. So as you're feeling this heaviness, as you're experiencing this contrast of light and dark, and you're feeling all of this turmoil kind of surface and bubble underneath the surface, just know there's nothing wrong with you. You're not doing anything wrong. This is just a clarifier. It's like a cleanser, detoxifier. It's an opportunity for you to engage with yourself in a way that you typically don't when you're just going through the motions of life, and to get clear on what you want to release and let go of. So if it doesn't feel good, that's a sign you want to let it go. It's a sign to do some reflection to see how can you show up differently in your life and have a different experience whenever you engage in this particular topic, whatever it is that's making you feel a little bit more angsty. So as we move away from the winter solstice, you're going to feel that contrast start to balance back out, and it's going to be easier to get your balance as the weather starts to warm, as the light starts to shift, and as we come into the next season. So don't panic during this burial season. Don't panic during this planting season. Don't panic. All that dirt and all that darkness that's getting piled up on top, it's not going to suffocate you. It's actually going to nourish you. You have the innate intelligence inside you to sort through all that darkness to see what's in it for you and what is not. You can leave behind what's not. You can pull in what's good, and it can help you to grow in the upcoming growth season. So we have the winter solstice that's been pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. We just hit that yesterday, so you're going to start to feel it get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. Along with that lightness, we also have energetically happening. Hey, whoever's here live, chat in, let me know. Do you do anything for the winter solstice? Are you already aware of how these energies can affect us or interact with us? I'm going to put a little comment here so I can see if anybody else is commenting. Sometimes I can't see the comments until I comment. We'll see if anything pops up there. Okay, so along with this winter solstice that's been coming on to us and that we're going to start to feel lifting up, we also have a new moon next week on Thursday, the 26th of December. And the new moon always brings an upswing of energy. It's a great time for creation, birthing forth what is new. So along with this shift from the dark overwhelming the light and the light coming back up into presence, we're also going to have that upswing of energy for new creation, for birthing forth what's next, just in time for the new year. Okay, one other piece of energy information to relay over is that yesterday also marked the beginning of Capricorn season. And I say it like that because I am a beloved Capricorn, and I love us. I think that we're resilient people. We are hardworking. We are self-reliant. We are compassionate, but we're reserved. So you don't always get all that compassion for in the forefront. We're very reserved. We do a lot of internal reflection, and we're perfectionists. So we don't typically eject outward or project outward unless we are confident that it's going to come across in a way that's not going to make us look like a fool. So knowing these things about Capricorn qualities, it will help us to understand the upswing of energy that we're going to be experiencing as we shift out of Sagittarius season and into Capricorn. Capricorns are our workhorses. We are methodical. We are logical. We like to put a plan in place. We are goal-oriented. We strive to the top. And even if we don't self-identify as goal getters, there's a certain amount of self-reliance and perseverance that's innate amongst Capricorns that make us pretty resilient. It can also cause us to get into a lot more trouble than we need to, because we can take a lot harder route to get there than what is necessary, and we can be a little bit stubborn. We're an earth sign. We're pretty fixed. Actually, we're the cardinal earth sign, so we're the most fixed. We're the most not fixed, but planted, rooted, solid. We like to have our footing. We like to have sure footing, right? But Capricorn's really, really cool because we're also closing out the end of the calendar year, and we open up the start of a new calendar year. So Capricorn's all about closings, bringing things to an end, and then also new beginnings. You get both of them. So as you're doing your reflection at the end of the year, as you're thinking about this upcoming year, just know that this energy of the new moon, the energy of the winter solstice, the energy of the Capricorn season, it's upon us. It's going to be influencing you. And when you're aware of it, you can just harness that energy and use it in a way that's aligned instead of forcing yourself against it and pushing against it and having a more difficult way. When you understand what's happening around you, it's better and easier to understand what's happening within you. When you understand what's happening within you, it's easier to understand what's happening around you. And if you're somebody that's like, I know for certain I want more balance, I know for certain I want to simplify my life, and I know for certain I want to receive more in 2020, then I invite you to hop over to holisticrestoration.com, click the button that you see on that front page that says 2020 Holistic Healing Circle, because that's exactly what we're going to be doing throughout the entire year of 2020 in the Holistic Healing Circle. We're going to go through 3 phases. I'm going to take you through the first 4 months of the year, show you how to simplify your life, how to take this overwhelm, this chaos, this clutter, this too muchness about life and simplify it. So you have some breathing room. You know what step to take. You know which direction to go to get on course, to get back on course, and how to shift in order to have the easiest way unfold in front of you. The second phase of the year, the second 4 months, we are going to be focused on balance. So everything we talked about today, bringing this energy in, understanding why we get off balance, how to find your own personal balance, and how to continue to take step after step after step in the new year, maintaining your balance, knowing how to go back to your balance, knowing how to cultivate balance, because this is the thing, 2020 is going to happen. You're going to go through every day of the year, regardless of the plan that you put in place. It's going to happen. You can tell yourself it's going to be different this year. You can tell yourself after 30 days, 90 days, it's going to be a new world. But think about how many times you've told yourself that in the past. And I'm not saying this to push on a pain. I'm saying this to get yourself to shift your perspective here. If you enter the year the same way you have in the past, you're going to get similar results to what you've gotten in the past. When you enter the year knowing that every day is going to present its own challenge, that every day you're going to have the choice to either stay the course or veer off of it, every day you have the option to continue to take forward and move forward and take action, or to pause and redirect yourself, you know this is going to be happening. So having a platform, having a foundation that can meet you with every single step of your journey so that you are no longer alone, so you can understand how to simplify your life, how to balance your life, and how to open yourself up for more flow, more receiving, more of that balance, giving and receiving, so that by the end of 2020, you have your footing and you know how to go through the motions to allow yourself to continue a simplified, more balanced, and more receiving experience. If this is something that's on your heart, I invite you to go check that out. I will open up an offer for anyone who signs up by midnight tonight, we'll say Sunday the 22nd, then I will upgrade your membership level. So you'll get more support. You'll get more access to me as you go through this experience. And through this experience, you're going to be guided to understand what's the energy of the month. What is the focus of the month? How do you bring your attention to that? How do you take that back over into your life and implement it into your life? And then how do you clear out the old energy that you're carrying and hit the reset button and activate the energy needed for what's coming forward? We're going to do it all year long, day after day, not really day after day, but week after week, more likely, so that you have that built-in support system to know that you're not alone. You just don't have to go through 2020 alone. I'm going to be going through it with you. We're all going to be going through it together. We're just going to have a more direct conversation to make more sense of it, to clear out the stuff that you don't need, to help to sort through, make it simple, let there be balance, and let you receive more from this life experience, no matter what is happening around you or within you. All right. If you have any thoughts on Capricorn season, on this upcoming new moon, which I'm going to talk about again, because I'm going to come back and talk about receiving again, probably tomorrow or Christmas Eve morning, before we get into the holiday, the real crunch of the holiday season, have a nice conversation about receiving so that you can understand how to keep yourself open and receive more. Even if you're going into a situation like holiday celebration, we're kicking off our first of 4 that we have with our family that starts today. Today's our first Christmas. As you're going into these like literal receiving situations, how can you get more from it? How can you receive from the individuals around you? How can you receive the experience that you desire, even if nobody else has signed up to make sure that you have it? I love that kind of conversation, because that's what I've realized. I turned 41 this year. So my birthday's on Christmas Day. We're 3 days away from my birthday. And what I have learned is that nobody is as committed to my peace of mind and my happiness than me. No one's going to make sure that it happens, that I get what I want, other than me. So being able to still go through the day-to-day motions, day-to-day life, engage in all the experience that have to happen, but always being able to make sure that I can connect to the experience that I desire, regardless of how others show up or what life hands me, I'm totally addicted to it. That's why I have this conversation all the time about it. And that's why I created the Holistic Healing Circle, for those who want to engage in this conversation and keep that focus so you can move out of being a victim of your circumstances and being at the mercy of what's happening around you or within you to determine your life experience, and begin to make sense of it, begin to simplify it, begin to balance that internal and external energy so that you can receive more, so that you can give more without depleting your energy, and so that you can have more flow, more fulfillment, and more peace of mind. I'm all about that. All right. I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Drop some comments below. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, be so kind. Subscribe so you can catch all these great videos that I'm putting out here, and drop some comments below. Let's keep this conversation going. All right. Love you. Thanks for being here. Bye.